Hello everyone, TheDerpHog here, and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different than my usual Control City Highways videos. Today I'm going to be reacting to a Control City video that I made all the way back in March. Did you hear me? March. 7 months ago. It's going to be a little bit old and rusty because I was pretty new at this stuff, and it was my first Control City video that I did not release to the public, but it was my first one ever. So I'm gonna be reacting to it today. So come on and join with me as we react to the video together.
Interstate 440, Raleigh. Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is TheDerpHog. I'm going to be doing something a bit different than my usual Blue Sewer gaming or presentations. Today I'm going to be talking about Interstate 440 in Raleigh. The reason why I'm talking about this interstate is because I have a lot of things to say about it. Plus, I'm a North Carolina, I'm a Triangle native, and I use Interstate 440 to get to places in Raleigh or North Raleigh a lot. So let's get started. As you can see here, Interstate 440 is highlighted in red, and it's 16 miles around Raleigh. And this 8-mile section down here used to be part of Interstate 440, but it was removed in 2008 to confuse, because this bottom section here is
So this entire map can be explained in like 20 seconds or less. I'm taking it like probably like a minute or so just to explain everything extra. That's because how nerdy I am at this stuff. So yeah.
Interstate 40. So it would have been very confusing if you had 40 and 440 signed. I'm guessing that's why they removed it.
So apparently I forget. Well, usually on the presentation itself, I don't do the eastbound or westbound transition thingy. I just say eastbound XXX or eastbound YYY and edit it into the video. But it looks like I forgot to do it on like this specific video back when I first made it. So yeah, it sounds a bit awkward not hearing it from myself.
So we start here at exit 1 for Interstate 40. Eastbound we have Interstate 40 going to Benson and Rocky Mount. That's because that's where US 64 is going. But I wouldn't put Benson on there. I'd put Rocky Mount in Wilmington.
I agree with my past self. Wilmington should be on that sign, not Benson.
Because that's where Interstate 40 is going to end up at. Plus, Wilmington is way more famous than Benson. For Interstate 40 West, it's for the airport and Durham. The airport is important for people who want to travel airborne, and Durham is the outskirts of Durham is where you meet Interstate 85, and you're concurrent with 85 for a little while. Plus, that's where you meet Interstate 885 and another mall. And Interstate 440 and US 1 are co-signed for Wake Forest. Here on Interstate 40.
So you know how I sometimes show like what the main highway is signed on the exit that I'm showing? Like for example, when in my upcoming Interstate 495 Massachusetts video on Interstate 290, or on it intersects Interstate 290 in Massachusetts, so on 290 I show what 495 is signed for. You know how it appears on the same slide as the exit or Interstate 290 exit, but apparently in this video I did a separate exit for entirely like what 440 is signed for on 40 instead of just showing it on one different slide. So that's pretty weird. Also, I also go on a rant about Interstate 440 and 40 here as well.
Going east, we have for Interstate 440, we have signed for Cary, that's where US 1 and 64 are going, and Wake Forest, that's where 440 and 1 are going. So I agree with those signs, and this sign is alright because you're going to be traveling the south, like very southern portion of Raleigh, going east on 40, and you're also going towards Wilmington. So that's your ultimate city there. It's the same thing on westbound too. So for the next exit, we have exit 2. Right now it's under construction because it's being converted from what was the previous interchange into a diverted diamond interchange.
So yeah, they've been working on this for like almost 6 years now, and they're putting up like those soundproof barrier walls too. So this for the first 4 entire miles of Interstate 440 is being reworked on, and part of that project is converting Exit 2 Western Boulevard into a diverging diamond interchange. So that's why I'm showing this picture, and I also show a picture from what it was like in 2018, 2019 to show the difference. Also, I rant on it about that too.
That's what's all this construction here. But it is the exit for downtown and NC State. This is what it used to look like 4 years ago before all the construction came in. And plus, there was a pull through for 440, but 440 is not on there. Instead, if it's US 1, I'm guessing the sign was like all the way before 440 was an interstate. So I'm guessing they never changed it from there. Plus they do something, plus North Carolina, my state North Carolina does something weird with naming, putting the name of the freeway instead of where it goes for some reason. I don't know why that sign's still up there. It should now be Interstate 440 and US 1 for Wake Forest instead of just US 1 Cliff Benson Beltline. So the very next exit, exit 3, is for Highway 54, which goes to Meredith College, another college in Raleigh. And we also have the next exit, instead of a pull through, we have a 440. We have a Wade Avenue exit, which is the next exit, exit 4.
So apparently in this video I skipped exit 4 going eastbound on 440, but I do show it going westbound on 440. So it's going to be a while before we see the actual exit 4 itself. Also, you can take North Carolina Highway 54 all the way into Durham and to meet North Carolina Highway 540 or Interstate 540.
And going eastbound, they removed exit 4B, so it's just exit 4. Going eastbound, and let's take a look to see what they have for the control cities on North Carolina Highway 54.
Looks like instead of announcing it, I just go straight to the next slide for the control cities, but here in this video, I'm announcing it because again, I was just new to this back when I first made it.
Here for Interstate 440 East, we have Wake Forest, like what it should be, because that's your angling going that way. And for the airport, because for the Wade Avenue exit. And for westbound, we have Apex? What? I'll be talking about more when we get to westbound. So here we are meeting US 70 and Highway 50 for Crabtree Valley and Durham, which Crabtree Valley is home to Crabtree Valley Mall, a very big mall that I know of, and plus it has
So Crabtree Valley Mall is very famous and a big mall that people go to a lot. The other mall that is famous around here is South Point Mall, all the way in Durham. And both malls are like 40 minutes from my house, so I do not go to the mall often. But I just mentioned the mall because I don't know why. I actually like going to the mall, but apparently I mentioned it here. Also, I'm going to be mentioning about US 70's control city for Durham, and how North Carolina has no love for their state highways.
Crabtree Valley Mall is a very cool mall, and for Durham, which where US 70 is going, well, they don't have a city for North Carolina Highway 50. Because who would take just North Carolina Highway 50? I'm betting that most people would take 70 west to go to Durham, instead of North Carolina Highway 50 North to go to like some North Carolina town. So I agree with that sign.
And then apparently I forgot which way to go.
Ah yes, exit 8. This is the exit that I always take back when my grandmother...
So here I go on a rant about how exit 8 was part of my childhood. And how I always would be off this exit like every single day when I was like not in school. And then I also talk about how I only took exit 8B once, and it was like a couple years ago when I visited North Hills for like a just to visit there all day because there was like a night event that me and my family went to. So yeah, that's why I say exit 8 is part of my is a part of me myself. Also, I'm going to be skipping it because I don't want to be revealing too much personal information.
This is where US 1 splits off from Interstate 440. It goes northward US 401 towards Wake Forest and Lewisburg. The reason why Lewisburg is on there is because that's where US 401 is going. They don't have anything for 1 because past Wake Forest because US 1 doesn't really hit any other town except for Hendersonville.
It's Henderson, not Hendersonville.
And I'm guessing they don't want to sign a place that far. So they signed a control city for US 401 instead of US 1. And we have exit 12 here instead of another pull-through sign. And
plus, I think Wake Forest is good enough for US 1 because everyone knows Wake Forest because of Wake Forest University, which by the way is not located in Wake Forest, it's located in Winston-Salem, not Wake Forest. But people know Wake Forest enough that it's good enough to be signed on there. I don't know why Lewisburg is on there.
Exit 12 is actually different for westbound 440 instead. Here we meet Interstate 87. I know a lot of people don't like the number 87 for this route. I also agree with that. It should be like an even number or like 97 because even though Interstate 97 exists in Maryland, it's too.
So apparently I go on a rant about how Interstate 87 should not be Interstate 87. Because I think everyone's watched the Interstate North Carolina 87 video made by Control City Freak and how that should not be Interstate 87. It should be something like 54 or something along those lines. So I'm just basically ranting on about that and that Interstate 540 is going to be passing through here. And I say that it's going to be in the next like 5 to 10 years. It's not to me in the next like 15, 20, or like 10 to 15 years, not 5 to 10. The western leg portion, the one here right now from 55 bypass up to Interstate 40, just outside of Raleigh, is going to be opening spring, while the rest of it is going to be, or rest up to Interstate 87 is going to be opening sometime in the mid 2030s.
Small to be an interstate, plus it's an entire route and it's an entire interstate inside one county. Interstate 87 is going to be more than, it's going to be expanded soon, so it should either be 97 or like an even number like 54, 48, 46, 52. There should be something else besides 87. Oh look, we finally have a pull through for Interstate 440 East, and for 87 South, and for US 64 West, but there's no city there. And we also have the next exit for Pool Road. Pool Road is actually going to meet 540 as well. So you can...
You know, already meets 540, Interstate 87.
Actually put 2 540, but once 540 goes through there, which would be next 5 or 10 years, I'd say put 2 540 on for Pool Road. Or for the Interstate 87, you could put 2 540 because it already meets 540. Plus, 87 is signed for Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville. Here we meet This is the
And I
eastern
skipped
end, or
over
the end of Interstate 440 eastbound. You take the exit for Interstate 40 East, while the head traffic is going for west for US 64 West and Interstate 40 West towards Durham, while Interstate 40 East is going to be the one that's exiting for Benson and Wilmington. I agree with the sign here because Benson is more of a secondary control city instead of a primary, and plus Wilmington, that Interstate 40 ends in Wilmington, so Wilmington is the next major city. Plus, it's a very good thing for a control city. But looky here. Here's what North Carolina does. They give us an end Interstate 87.
It is a end sign. That's so good. I think some other states also have end signs for their interstates, like Interstate 8 in California. Also, surprisingly, Massachusetts also has end signs for their 3-digit interstates, because I'm currently editing Interstate 495 right now, and I've seen it. There's end signs at both ends, so that's pretty cool.
And Interstate 440's end sign. So we're now going to be talking about westbound 440.
Yeah, I did it there, but I forgot to do it eastbound.
So we begin here on Interstate 40 East, 8 miles from exit 293 for 440 again. This time we have Interstate 87 North, 440 West, and 64 East for Rocky Mount. They don't have anything for 440 because why? Dude, there wouldn't be to sign anything except for going to Wake Forest. But they have nothing signed for 440, which is, I think it's a good thing because, again, 440 is a partial loop, and plus who'd be going east on 40 just to come back west to 440? You would just stay on 440. Or you would have taken the Wade Avenue exit to get to 440. Well, again, 40 is signed for Benson and Wilmington. It's fine. But for westbound, since westbound is under, for westbound 440.
Yeah, I did that thing here on 40.
Westbound 40 is under construction. They have nothing signed for 440, and they just have US 64 East. But no mention of Interstate 87 because I'm guessing it's under that tarp sign here, but it's again under construction, while 40 West and 64 West are going towards Durham. Here again we made Interstate 87 for Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville, all the places that's where we're gonna go. I'm guessing once 87 is completed, they're gonna put Norfolk or some other city like Norfolk on there.
Yeah, right. That's kind of a big jump for North Carolina. It's probably just gonna be the same. There's no way they're gonna put Norfolk on that sign.
Which they should, because that's the city that Interstate 87 is gonna be going to. Why wouldn't you? And then we have another pull through for 440, but it's a tiny sign that doesn't have any cities or suburbs or towns. Well, we have a sign for Business Highway 64, US 64 Business for Nightdale. Here on US 64 Business, we have 440 West for Wake Forest, because that's where it's going to meet US 1, and which US 1 goes to Wake Forest, and 440 East for Benson. They should sign that for Wilmington or Durham, because that's where the traffic's angling towards to, not or.
I agree with my task.
But Benson's a secondary control city. Why would they sign it there? Here we meet US 401 and US 1 again. We have, so going this way, it's good to sign for US 401 South for downtown.
So you know how I said earlier earlier in this video that exit 12 is signed differently on westbound 440? Yeah, instead of Yonkers Road, it's signed for Brentwood Road instead. But apparently I skipped it in the video, so I never got to show you guys.
To the downtown via exits 2, 3, and 4, you'd be taking this exit to get to downtown Raleigh. Well, again, US 1 North and 401 North is signed for Wake Forest and Lewisburg, respectively, which I agree with that. Again, here's the exit for US 401 South, and as you can see all the way up there, now we're signed for 440 West for and US 1 South for Sanford, where US 1 is going to. Which I agree with because you're going to be angling towards that way anyways, plus US 1 is going to Sanford. Here we meet US 70 and NC 50 again, but this time it's split for 2 exits, but it wasn't going eastbound.
So like I said, exit 7 wasn't split into 2 different parts going eastbound. That's because, do you see Rich Road here? That's actually exit 6 going eastbound on 440, and there's no exit 6 going westbound on 440. So, 70 and 50 absorb Ridge Road, so that's why Ridge Road is located on exit 7A instead of having its entire own exit on westbound 440.
And this time exit 6 going eastbound is on for exit 7. So let's take a look at, let's see if they keep up for Sanford for westbound on US 70. And they do. And this time for US 70 and 50 South, they have Raleigh downtown. For 440 West, they have the Sanford and Ridge Road, because you would be taking that exit to get to Ridge Road. And for 440 East,
so 440 doesn't actually go to Sanford, US 1 goes to Sanford, and Sanford's the next major city after you pass through Raleigh, so that's why Sanford's signed.
I have Wake Forest and Rocky Mount and Wilson, because that's where it ultimately, because it's where it meets 87.
See?
So this one, so again, this exit is under, so I'm using a past version. I'm using a picture from 4 years ago for this exit. So exit 4B is the Wade Avenue Freeway, while exit 4A is for the Wade Avenue Surface Street into downtown Raleigh. But instead I'd say the Wade Avenue Freeway should be signed a interstate, because it's a freeway that ultimately connects you to Interstate 40. Plus it's a great connection to downtown Raleigh from Interstate 40 West. If you're coming from from points west, like somewhere west, like Kansas City or St. Louis or something, it would be a great way to get into downtown Raleigh.
I don't know why I mentioned the west cities, but anywhere west of North Carolina, or even western North Carolina is good. I don't know why I mentioned like Midwest cities.
If you're going that way. Plus, it also connects you to NC State football stadium,
Carter Finley Stadium, PNC Arena, stuff like places like those.
PNC Arena, the State Fairgrounds, a whole bunch of stuff. So I think it actually should be like this. Exit 4B for Interstate 340 or 5.
Imagine if North Carolina actually converts Wade Avenue into an interstate. I'd be so surprised. But I don't think they're going to, because right now they're working on the first 4 miles of Interstate 440 and have no plans of converting Wade Avenue into an interstate itself.
If 340, 740, or 940 for RDU International Airport in Greensboro instead of Durham, because I'd say because Greensboro is the next major city that you're going to be passing by, and though So I'd sign Greensboro instead of Durham there. And then I'd just leave exit 4A alone. Again, we meet North Carolina Highway 54 and for Meredith College in Hillsborough Street. And this is weird. So 440 West on North Carolina Highway 54, it's signed for Apex instead of Sanford. Even though US 1 does go to Apex. And I think Apex is larger, but there's only 3 exits for Apex, which is... Apex is, I'm guessing, signed because it's still part of the Raleigh area and the Triangle, but I do agree it should be like Sanford if like for the long distance travelers. But Apex is like definitely correct for those who live locally, but I think it should be more of Sanford for like long distance travelers or something like that. 98, 96, and 90 exit 96, 95, and 93. Well, Sanford is another like 20 miles south, and US 1 travels through the heart of Sanford, while US 1 just bypasses Apex to the east. So I would put Sanford instead of Apex here. So here we meet now, we're at the end of Interstate 440 going west. We have a sign for Durham and Benson. I'd say, again, I'd put Wilmington instead of Benson there. But Durham is fine.
That, sign editor.
And then look at that, we have an N440 on the western side. If you take the distributor lanes for exit 1. And as you can see in the distance, it goes exit 1A for Interstate 40 East and US 64 East, and exit 101B for the Crossroads Shopping Center and Walnut and Buck Jones Road. Now, onto the...
Well, it looks like there is no transition there. Also, exit 101, and south of that, that's US 1's exit numbers, because between Sanford and Raleigh, US 1 is actually a multi-lane, or like a 2-lane divided highway freeway.
DerpHog's the way it should be. The way it should be for Interstate 440 in Raleigh. For Interstate 440 eastbound, I'd say Wake Forest until the US 1 split, exit 11, and then I'd just do the Interstate 40's control cities from there for Wilmington and Durham. Wilmington for Interstate 40 East and Durham for Interstate 40 West. For westbound 440, I'd again put Rocky Mountain, Wake Forest, dual city those because Interstate 87 is concurrent with Interstate 440 for those first 3 miles, or 2 miles. So, and then once 87 leaves 440, I'd say Wake Forest for the next like couple miles. And then once US 1 rejoins 440, I'd say Sanford, because you're ultimately going to end up through like going into Sanford instead of bypassing Apex. So that's why I'd say Sanford.
Hey, any other North Carolina locals, tell me if you agree with this list or not, because it was made 7 months ago. Also, now since I have my new segment, the places I'll go, whenever I remake Interstate 440, I'm going to be doing that instead of listing the correct control cities. And since I've been on the highway many times, like I've said at the beginning of this video here, I'm going to be showing you like all the different places that you should visit, or if you ever come to Raleigh on 440. So that's pretty cool.
So, thank you all for watching.
I end on a black screen and just say thank you, basically. So that ends that video, and I want to say thank you guys for watching this video. And if you enjoy my reaction videos, please tell me if you'd like to see more of these reaction videos. Currently I'm working on US X66s for Halloween, and also working on Massachusetts Route 128 and Interstate 495 in Massachusetts. And then I'll be starting US 62 soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.